So, the Disney investors call was today, or specifically this afternoon. It just ended a couple minutes ago, and there's so much, so much to unpack. So I'll do separate videos from each division. The MCU division, Lucasfilm division, Disney proper division, Pixar division, the Disney company as a whole. But for this video, it's my initial thoughts. And my initial thoughts are wow. Because I didn't expect we would get as many announcements as we did, considering this wasn't this big fan event. This wasn't a big press release. It was for the investors. So I assumed, yeah, we'll get some big announcements here and there. But this was literally showing out the entire Disney catalog from here to 2023 and beyond. Because it was crazy. Movie announcements, cast announcements, trailers. Just big movie news. So where to start? I don't know. I mean, I could talk about, oh yeah, the MCU. They showed a WandaVision trailer, which looked great. Loki trailer, which looked great. Falcon and Winter Soldier trailer, that looked great. And they all look so cinematic, which is crazy as well. Lucasfilm having like 7 new projects. Development on Indiana Jones 5 and Willow, which, is great. I just watched Willow a couple months ago. Obviously, Ahsoka series, The Bad Batch, which I was actually kind of skeptical of. The trailer looked really cool, and I'm like, is that Finnick? That would be crazy if Finnick Shan was in that show as well, which would connect it to The Mandalorian. The droid show, but I mean, I don't know. Like, if you ask me what's the biggest mic drop or the biggest shocker in this whole thing, would honestly be that they're not recasting Black Panther. I think that was crazy, because, like, I didn't expect that they would make that decision right now, but I guess that's crazy. Fantastic Four, moving on that with the Spider-Man Homecoming and Far From Home director, which, that also sounds crazy. PIXAR, I am intrigued by that Buzz Lightyear film, because it kind of, I guess that is an interesting premise of, we see this Buzz Lightyear toy, and he's supposedly based off a film, so what is that film? So that would be, very interesting to see the Lightyear that it's built off of, and it's, it's kind of interesting that they're not bringing the original voice actor back, Tim Allen. They're not bringing him back, instead getting Chris Evans. I'm not sure why. I think maybe because it's a younger, like I guess the idea is that but it's the astronauts' early days. Maybe that's why. I don't know. But that sounds fascinating to me. Raya still looks crazy. You could really tell that they're transitioning more and more into streaming, which is definitely the way they're going, especially Disney Plus. But we've known that for a long time. So there's so much to unpack, and I'll go specifically division by division. But I'd be remiss not to say, the craziness of Hayden Christensen come back as Anakin. Or Darth Vader, or whatever. I don't think it's just for Obi-Wan. I think it's going to be for Ahsoka, too. Because think about that. Ahsoka has a deep connection with Anakin. So maybe flashbacks, or maybe stuff like that. And I think the same thing with Obi-Wan. Because why would you bring Hayden back to be Darth Vader? You'd bring him back to be Anakin, but Anakin's dead. So I'm thinking Force Ghost, visions, dreams. I think that would be where he comes in, because it would haunt both Ahsoka and Obi-Wan, especially since Obi-Wan has all this downtime, and it's only a decade. It's only 10 years later, So 10 years is still, for a wound as big as, his friend, practically his brother, turned to the dark side. That wound is still relatively fresh, but I'm stoked for where Star Wars is going. Marvel, Pixar seems to go in an interesting direction. The one thing I will say is Disney proper, and we'll talk about this more when I talk about Disney proper, meaning that stuff, with like Mighty Ducks and the other shows and stuff. That to me just felt like the filler. It felt filler. You know what I mean? Every single division had one big marquee tentpole event project, whether it be Secret Invasion for Marvel, or so many things, whether for Star Wars, Ahsoka show, Bad Batch, or Cassian Andor, or what's the other ones, Rogue Pilots, or the other one, the other show, I forgot, something A, the other one. So points, Lucasfilm had a lot of big news. Marvel, PIXAR, so all of them had big news. But then you get to Disney proper with their Disney live action, and they don't seem to have much. I think obviously, but Disney animation has a lot of big things. So the future of Disney looks bright, but anything could go downhill anywhere, and so we shall see. Stay tuned for a lot more videos coming up, because I will do specific videos on Star Wars, on Marvel, on Disney, on Disney animation, on Netflix, or not Netflix. What am I talking about? On what's it called? PIXAR and Star Wars. And so yeah, I think Disney, obviously, like I said, is leaning so much toward streaming, and I think the Star thing seems interesting. This idea of this kind of rated R section, this more mature section, 18 plus, whatever, seems like a very interesting direction. I thought we, definitely could have sensed it miles away. Obviously, they didn't talk about Spider-Man 3. I saw a lot of people talking about Spider-Man 3, and I'm like, this is a Disney investors meeting. Why would they promote a different studio for this meeting? I thought for that, maybe they'll talk about Spider-Man for a second, then I realized, no, this is Disney. This is not Sony. Maybe they could, but if the whole idea of this is just to promote Disney and keep investors involved with Disney, promoting Spider-Man would essentially promote Sony. So all they had to say was, oh yeah, and Doctor Strange 2, Multiverse of Madness, yeah, that's connecting into Spider-Man 3. Which we already knew, because Doctor Strange was going to be in Spider-Man 3, and after these news announcements past couple days, that all but confirmed it. So anyway, stay tuned for all those videos coming right at you.